Hey look, it's Heroes in a Half Tray. Here's your look at the brand new Diamond Select, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles DFormz vinyl figures. And just before we actually break these down, I'd like to thank the folks first over at Diamond Select that did provide this sample so that we could have a look at in this review. We are in fact going to be looking at an entire tray which consists of 4 across, 3 up, and if you do that, that's simple math. That's 12 that we're going to be opening up and having a look at individually. Speaking of individually, let's actually pick up one of the boxes right now so you guys can see what it actually looks like. On the front, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, contains one 3-inch vinyl figure, comes to us from the DFormz line of Diamond Select. On the side, featured some of the characters. Now, these are obviously based on the original Mirage comics, so you're going to have all still the same red bandanas. Different weapons, obviously. In this case, you can tell by down below that that's Raphael. You've got Michelangelo on the top, but it's only really by their weapons that distinguishes one from the other. On the back, we have Shredder of 2 forms. It looks also like we got ourselves a Splinter, and we've got the other Turtle brothers represented on the other side with Leonardo and Donatello. It also seems to be the case that they're telling us how many that we're getting in each pack. Each case. So we're getting, in this case, Leonardo and Donatello represented by 2 of 12, where it looks to be Shredder is probably 1 of 12, indicated by this 1.12. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open this up. I suppose we probably are going to be needing ourselves a knife, but I don't think we're going to need a knife just yet. For right now, at least, I'm going to open up the top lid here. These should be available right now in comic book stores and specialty stores. Should you be interested to pick these up for yourself? And let's see what we have to start off with. It looks like we have Master Splinter. Contained, oh, it looks like I will need a knife here. Let's grab Old Red just to help us with this. And also open up this so that poor Sensei doesn't suffocate. Here we have ourselves Master Splinter. I can't tell if this is, it looks, I guess it's supposed to be like a knife that he's got in his hand. It just happened to have been a little bit bent in the bag. Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking Splinter. Cane in one hand, sword drawn in the other. Nicely painted as well for the size that they are. They are on display stands, and I'm imagining, based on the fact that we're looking at them on the box, that all the display stands seem consistent with one another. It's a cool-looking Splinter, though. And it looks to be also that we're going to be getting 2 Splinters per tray. So we're probably going to be seeing this rodent, I can say reptile, this rodent again. Just a quick look at the head sculpt. Quite nice paint. For a piece this small, they've handled the paint quite well. You can see that they've painted the teeth, they've painted the eyes. That's a nice looking Splinter. Put him right over there. Let's continue our journey. This one does feel a little bit heavier, although it's not rattling or anything along those lines. Let's open up the next box. This is certainly one of those longer videos, so if you have a little bit of time and you want to sit down with this, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself some snacks, sit down and enjoy. The next bag that we're going to be opening up here does have a green turtle. It does have a red headband, but it doesn't tell us exactly who it is until we realize that it does have a bow staff, telling us right away that it's Donatello. And just pulling this out right now. It looks to be the same type of display stand. Ooh, that blade on Splinter has me concerned. I gotta be careful I don't bang it anymore. The actual display bases do look different from one another. So you can see like Donatello's, for example, does have what seems to be maybe the sidewalk. This probably is the road. This is the sidewalk. And it looks like poor Splinter is actually standing right in the middle of the road. You better get off the road. He's going to be getting squished like a grape. Putting Splinter down here, though, let's get a closer look at Donatello. Bow staff in hand. It looks like he's ready to fight the foot. I like the sculpting of the face. The sculpting of the face, in fact, as large of his lower mouth is, as low as his, as big, excuse me, as his lower mouth may be. It kind of actually looks a little bit like movie Raphael, which is funny to say that because he is wearing the red bandana after all. And spin it around so you can see it from all the back. Again, like the paint is really handled well on these pieces. Putting him over there. We're also going to move over Splinter. Let's grab then the next box. And they're all glued, obviously. That's to prevent any kids or anybody from opening up the boxes if they're inside the comic book store seeing these. And let's see who we have to join us. It looks to be possibly another Donatello. I suppose probably I could just keep this inside the bag. Yes, he's going to be suffocating, but I would imagine he's probably suffocated a long time ago. Can we just stop talking about suffocating? We're going to keep him in the bag for right now, just because, again, like I already have one already opened up. Grabbing the next one here. Lifting up the flap, opening up the flap, and opening up the sides. See who's going to be joining us with that. Oh, it seems to be a Shredder. Now, again, there's 2 versions of Shredder. One is kind of more blue color. I think the 2nd edition Mirage comics had Shredder in more in the blue, and the color printing was more in blue, and then the original one was kind of more in a red. This seems to be blue shredder, which is the rarer one. This is actually in both cases. I shouldn't say that. Both shredders are 1 of 12. Let's open this one up. Pull them out right now. Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking shredder. By the way, there is no posability or anything on these. These are just straight statues. But man, do they ever look nice. The shredder isn't so much standing on, it seems, a sidewalk or a road. Looks like he's got a little bit of like a rock terrain behind his feet. Colored nicely, though. You can see like his guard, little, I guess calf guards, not calf guards, forearm guards. Shoulder pads, thank you. And he's also got the little blades there on the undersides of his hands. They're actually a fairly rubbery plastic, which I guess is good so that it's not accidentally going to be breaking on you. Got the little shoulder pads there also on the side. That's a good looking head sculpt for Shredder. I would also imagine, I think it'd be safe to assume that they're probably going to be using the exact mold for then this one, and then just coloring it in the red instead of the blue. I like the look of the blue, though, I have to admit. I'm going to put that right over there. We're not quite halfway through the tray. We still got a ways to go, I suppose. Open up the next flap here. Let me know down below in the comments section if you ever had the chance to collect the original Mirage Turtle comics. I think I may have had, certainly not one of the earlier ones, because the earlier ones are, you know, a little bit more expensive. But I have maybe one of the later run comics, and it's not in great shape, so it's really not worth anything. There's, once again, Splinter. This blade is a little bit better off than the other one. I suppose, realizing now, I probably didn't even need to open this, considering I already had a Splinter opened up. I'll show you guys, they're exactly the same to one another. Hey now, an idea just popped in my head. I think they would actually really do well if they re-released these in like a black and white treatment. Who else would be interested to grab those? Opening up, though, the next box, see who we're going to be getting inside. We only really have, right now, Splinter and Donatello. Let's see at least if we can get a couple more turtles out of this. And the next one that we're going to be grabbing, speaking of red bandanas, it's red bandanas, but it's also a Psy, pair of Psy, in fact. So we've got ourselves Raphael. Let's just actually get him out of his bag. I'm careful while doing it. At least I'm trying to be careful doing this, because I don't want to snag the Psy. Nobody wants to snag a Psy. But that's what Raphael looks like. Let's grab Donatello here just to the side and put them next to one another. Yeah, those look cool. I really like the colors that they've used for these. The color of green is kind of more of a softer green, in fact. It's actually not very, very dark. And also I like the color of the burgundy that they use for the bandana. Spin this around so you guys can see it. That's a cool, nice pose too. Also, that's a really good pose for Raphael. Put that right over there. A couple more still to go. I keep wanting to grab the knife like I want to be cutting this right away, but I can easily do this part at least by hand. And then we'll go back and grab the blade then to open up the baggie. Or maybe we may not even have to. The next one we're going to be opening up here, we've got ourselves Leonardo. Cut the bag here so we can open up Leonardo. Oh, this is interesting. For a second, that actually looked like Donatello had dropped his staff. I don't think it's probably that. It probably is like a divider between, maybe that's like the middle, like a track of like a trolley like a rail car. Probably if that was the case, it's not a good idea that Leonardo is standing in the middle of that. There he is with sword again. One sword drawn. The other katana is still nicely placed on the back of his body. Funny enough, though, you'll notice that there's only one compartment space to store his katana. So unless they have to share quarters, maybe the other one was supposed to be there. Maybe the original comic, as far as I remember, the original comic had only one. I might be wrong by that, but that's a good looking Leo. In fact, I'll actually just to put him next to Donatello. Head sculpts are very similar. They're about the same shape, very full in the cheeks. Let's put Leonardo down below here. The only one we still have left to get, at least of the turtles, is Michelangelo right here. And of course, there's the other Shredder as well. No April, sadly, with this release, but maybe what they could do is for like a Series 2 release, like an April O'Neil. But again, like just throw that idea out there. Let me just throw it out there and hope that Diamond Select considers the idea of maybe releasing these again in black and white. I think getting the same sculpting with these, but done in black and white, would be quite cool looking. We have ourselves another Leonardo, so we're just going to keep him in the bag. We don't need to be opening up two of those. Grabbing now what's the starting of the last row. These ones were glued together. We're just going to put those to the side here. Let's open up the next box. I'm very quickly running out of space on this side of the camera. You probably can't see as much mess as I've got kind of developing on this side. Of course, when it comes to wrapping things up at the end of this video, I'm going to be putting all the boxes in recycling. And we have ourselves the last Shredder. which is the only other time we're going to see this shredder inside this tray, because there's only a 1 of 12. That's the red clad shredder. Here's the blue clad shredder. Which one do you like more? You know, now that I actually see the burgundy colored one in front of me, I think I like this one a little bit more. The blue was nice, but I do like the color of the red. Neat looking shredders. Put them right over there. So really that leaves us only left to, well, there's a couple more turtles. We still got yet to get a Michelangelo, and I think there's probably, I'm just looking at it here, I think we have one more Raphael to get, because we get 2 Raphaels in every tray. So the third last box of the little journey that we've all had together. Pulling out the box, I should say pulling out the bag. And inside we have ourselves, yeah, another Raphael. So we're going to keep them in the bag for right now. Maybe I'll give the doubles to a friend of mine that loves to collect Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're going to open up in the second last box. And let's hope at least we get ourselves a Michelangelo. Considering where we have at least gotten, checklist-wise, we've gotten pretty much all of them. We have gotten all of them except for Michelangelo. And seeing as he is 2 after all of 12, I'm likely guessing that the last 2 are going to be Michelangelo related. And sure enough, the last one that we got is Michelangelo. So let's just cut that open up here. And there's Michelangelo. I like the way they've sculpted the chain connecting, obviously, the 2 nunchuck together. I like that they've got that wrapped around his arm. I like that this one also does have, I mean, it's really one of the only turtles, is the only turtle that is actually showing the inside of his mouth. All the other ones are just showing their teeth. Yeah, I like this one quite a lot. That might be, I think, of the turtles, I think this one's my favorite. Good pose on him, too. Put him right over there. And, of course, obviously, not that we really have to open up the last box, but just to say that at least we completed something. It's nice to think that if you're going to be, starting a goal, you'd like to think that you're going to complete the goal as well. And sure enough, the last one, of course, is another Michelangelo. So let's just kind of move everything as best we can out of the way. Just bring in all the turtle figures that we've already had a look at, and we'll kind of go through each of these individually. You guys can let me know down below your favorites. First of which, let's bring in Splinter. Yeah, Splinter looks good. Unfortunately, like this one here, was it this one? I think it was this one. This one has what almost will be a broken blade, so just got to be careful with that one. It's a nice looking Splinter. Got 2 versions of Shredder, both the blue and the red. I prefer the red myself, but you guys can let me know down below whether you prefer the blue or you like the red a little bit more. I like the red. And of course, we got the actual turtles. So we got Donatello with bow staff. No section, by the way, on the back of his shell to store the staff when they're, obviously, he's going to be sitting down for a sandwich or something. Well, it looks like he almost did drop a staff. Here's Leonardo. Get away from that track, if that is a track. Probably not a good idea. Leonardo. We had Raphael. Raphael's got a good pose, too. And then the last one we also had a look at was Michelangelo. I think Michelangelo is my favorite, although I like the pose that they also gave Raphael. Who is your favorite turtle, at least of the ones that we had a look at? And also, again, if you guys are interested to pick these up for yourself, they should be available right now in comic book stores and specialty stores. Once again, a big thank you to the folks over at Dahmm Select that gave us the chance to have a look at the brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's always hard to get out. The new DFormz 3-inch vinyl figures. If you guys enjoyed this video, why hit with a like. If you guys are loving the content you guys are seeing and certainly on board to see more, then if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that you're also turning on the bell notification. You want to have a little bit more time? You have a little more time on your hands? You want to check out some more Dahmm Select stuff? Well, popping up at the very end of this video will also be a Dahmm Select playlist if you have a little bit of time to kill. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.